Conflict can be an ominous word, but there's really nothing scary about it. Conflict happens anywhere that needs or wants meet resistance. It can be a fundamental need, like the need to simply stay alive.
Or the competition for resources, like food.
Or it can be less urgent, like the need for office supplies.
Did someone steal my stapler again?
Conflict can happen in any kind of work environment, too. It can happen in workplaces that are white-collar.
Or even a warehouse. And when there's any kind of conflict, our job as supervisors is straightforward. We have to recognize the conflict.
We have to manage the conflict. And we have to resolve the conflict.
I thought that was my line.
You see, conflict happens everywhere.
For supervisors, the important thing to understand is that conflict is natural and that it's going to happen. So you got to create an environment where your people know, hey, if I have a problem, I can always talk to the boss. He's always willing to help.
The way to do that is to check in regularly with your team. Make sure they're doing okay and make yourself accessible to them. Make sure they know you're willing to help.
That way, you're going to know about any conflict before it has time to turn into a real problem. It helps you nip things in the bud.
Conflict comes from lots of places. It can arise from all sorts of things. Anything from financial objectives to differences in priorities.
Maybe there's a procedure people don't like. Maybe there's a breakdown in communications.
There can be a misunderstanding about expectations, and there can also be personal reasons that have less to do with the workplace.
Things like personality conflicts or personal problems away from work. Any or all of these can have the potential for conflict.
One place where I have to keep a sharp lookout for conflict is the area of scheduling.
I can tell you, one of my most consistent hotspots is scheduling.
Here's an email I got this morning.
Eva, I need to talk to you about some extra time off. And I also have an issue with not being allowed in the class for the new software training. Could we talk sometime soon? Thanks, Marion.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
I need to talk to you about the scheduling sheet for the forklift training.
See what I mean? I already know a little bit about Marion's situation.
I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. My husband hurt himself, and he can't drive, and he needs a lot of care. We're still waiting for stuff to get sorted out, and in the meantime, I've had to take a lot of time off. Eva's been great about it. But I've gone through almost all my vacation days and most of my sick days, too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
I know she's got a hard situation trying to take care of her husband, but I don't know what the issue with the software class is.
The thing is, I've had to take so much time off that I missed my chance to sign up for this class that would make me eligible for a bump in pay. We really need that money.
Part of a supervisor's job is to know as much as you can about a conflict before you begin figuring out how to resolve it. Sometimes you need to ask a few questions, but other times the information comes right up to you.
So, Tom, I wanted to sign up for that forklift training. And the last slack I'd taken just before I could sign up.
Well, I can see where that's a letdown, but the sheet had been up for a few days. What kept you from putting your name on it?
It's weekend training. I had to check everything at home and make sure I could come in. And then on the day that I was going to sign up, there was still a slot left. But you had me go fill in at the Northeast location. By the time I got back, the last spot was taken by Bonnie.
Okay, I see the trouble.
I mean, I got nothing against Bonnie, but I've been here 3 years longer than her, you know?
Yeah, but Alphonse, it wasn't based on seniority. It was first come, first served.
Yeah, but I would have been first if I hadn't been doing that favor for you.
Yeah. All right, let me look into it. Maybe we can work something out, okay? In order to manage a conflict, you first have to identify it. Alphonse has a conflict with the forklift training schedule.
Marion has a conflict with the software class scheduling and her leave hours. Now that we've identified the problems, let's identify the players in the conflict. In my case, the players are Marion and the software trainers.
In my case, the players are Alphonse and Bonnie. Another part of managing the conflict is considering the avenues of resolution.
There are basically 5. There's competition, which is more or less a power struggle where authority wins. It's a win-lose scenario. Only one side feels good when it's over. And I don't really like it, except when there's some kind of emergency, and we don't have the time to find something better.
There's accommodation, which isn't really better. It's what happens when one side just gives in for the sake of keeping the peace. And maybe the peace is kept for the moment, but this one is win-lose too. And when there's a clear loser, I don't feel like I've done my job.
Avoidance is maybe the worst of them all. It's let's just pretend this problem will fix itself. And it's lose-lose. Poor supervision.
The two I work hardest for are compromise, or if there's a way to make it happen, collaboration. Compromise isn't bad at all. When you compromise, both sides get something and both sides give something up. It's win-lose, win-lose.
And collaboration is when you work together to find a way that everyone can win. It's the hardest one to find, but finding it is one of the reasons I'm being paid to supervise.
Alphonse has a scheduling issue. Now, I don't think I can find an answer where everyone wins, but I bet I can find a compromise.
Marion is worried about leave time and not being able to take a class she wants, but I have a feeling she and I can collaborate and find a way where everybody wins.
Like I said, I prefer compromise as my resolution, but I need to do a little more investigating first. Bonnie is a part of this issue, so I need to talk to her and find out where she's coming from. I'll need her to be a part of any compromise I try to work out. Hey, Bonnie, you got a minute?
Sure thing, Tom. What's up?
I'm trying to sort something out with the schedule for the training next weekend. I see you got the last slot.
Yep, nick of time.
How important is it to you?
Well, I mean, you have to be certified if you want to move up. I know I won't be the next in line for a promotion, but whenever the opportunity comes up, I want to have all my certifications, you know?
Thinking ahead. I like that. But listen, Bonnie, Alphonse wanted the same slot, and he is senior enough to be next in line for promotions, and he doesn't want to miss his chance.
But
I don't want to just take away your slot and give it to him, but I would like us to put our heads together and think about things that might leave you both happy.
if you think that's possible, then sure.
Step one toward getting a successful compromise? Everyone's willing to try. Proactive communication is a big part of managing any conflict toward the best resolution.
I need to make sure I have all of my facts straight before I start trying to guide us to a successful collaboration. In fact, you could say that open communication is the first ingredient of any successful collaborative resolution. Marion, I want to make sure I understand all the issues, all right?
Great. Thank you.
You're worried about having used up all of your options for time off, including sick time and vacation time, because you still need to figure out a way to take care of your husband. Is that right?
Yes. I've been racking my brain thinking of someone I could ask for help, but it's so hard.
I know. It's okay. We're going to figure something out. You're also concerned because you were away during the sign-up for the new software class.
Yes.
The thing is, this office can't let your work pile up. Whoever sits at your desk is an important part of the payables team.
No, I know that. And I know I've been slow on some things.
But I think I have an answer. I spoke to Jason, your team leader, and to the team that's running the software class. They're prepared to let you audit the course via webcam from home. If you can be here for Tuesday team meetings, you should be able to work from home several days a week.
Oh my.
That way, we get the benefit of the contribution we know you want to make, and you get the advantage of structuring the work a little more creatively to help with your situation at home. Everybody wins. How would that feel?
Like winning the lottery?
Okay, it's time to go shopping for a compromise. Alphonse wants the last forklift training slot, but Bonnie got it first. We need to find a way that each of them could give something up in order to get something that they want. Okay, so you both know the score. Now, normally I'd just say, too bad, Alphonse, you snooze, you lose. But he wasn't really snoozing, he was doing something for me. Now, I don't want anyone to feel like they've been treated unfairly, so we need to figure something out.
I appreciate it.
I want to do everything I can, but I did get there first. It's not your fault you couldn't sign up, but it's sure not my fault either.
That's true. So, Bonnie, you have something that Alphonse would like you to give him. Is there anything he could give you in exchange?
I don't know.
Didn't I hear you in the break room the other day saying that you didn't think you'd have another weekend off as long as you lived?
Yeah, that was right after the schedule for the quarter came out. I drew 4 weekends. Plus, this training happens on a weekend, too.
Hey, let me have that training slot and you get that weekend off.
Take 3 of my other weekends and give me your weekday hours, and I think I can do that.
That sounds reasonable to me, Alphonse. She'll give up her training slot if you swap some weekday hours for weekends.
Man, my wife would be mad if I give a lot of weekend time.
Think how happy she'll be when you get bigger checks from the training.
All right.
Remember, conflict is going to happen, and there's no reason to be afraid of it. You just have to recognize it
And manage it.
and resolve it.
The best resolutions have no losers, whether you decide on collaboration.
Or compromise.
Because it's your job to remember, no matter what happens, there's always...
There's always...
I think this is my line.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's mine. But let's compromise.
Okay.
There's always a way.
To work it out.